These are sweet 100s tomatoes, super sweet 100s. And I've got them by themselves because they grow so large. And as you can see, I've got my companion basil planted. I've got some cabbage. I've already harvested some, and some still coming in. I've got Brussels sprouts that are doing well. I think we're going to have sprouts pretty soon. I see a lot of buds. All right, let's do a garden update. These are the cherry tomatoes, the Sweet 100 variety. And as you can see, they have grown considerably. I'll back up so you can see the entire plant. But that's the two that you saw earlier. And there's the little basil that was in front of it. The cabbages are still doing well. We've harvested a good many more. The Brussels sprouts, they're still on the way. I still see heads forming and lots of them. We'll just have to wait and see what happens this fall. The peppers, these particular ancho peppers have not done a lot, but the others have. So they're starting to put on a little bit of fruit here and there. So we should have squash here in just a few days. Others have. So now let's take a look at the crookneck squash. We've harvested quite a lot out of here, and as you can see, they're growing very well. Lots of fruit, lots of flowers. You can see down in there. We have blossom end rot problems on them again this year. I guess I've got to add more calcium next year. I've got several varieties here. These are pink ox heart. These are Mariglobe. These are, well, let's see, Jubilee. They're slow growing for some reason. These are Kellogg's Breakfast. They're supposed to be a really good tomato. We're going to find out this year. These are striped paste tomatoes. These are Brandywine tomatoes. And we've still got our parsley from last year. Okay, these are Steakhouse tomatoes. And of course we have the companion plants, as you can see. We've got this is basil also, but this is Thai basil. These are Romas, these two. Sweet basil. These are beefsteak tomatoes. More of the basil. These are yellow pear tomatoes. These are a cherry tomato. They're small, evidently. These are San Marzanos. These are, let's see, I've got a tag that fell over here. Let's fix that. These are yellow zoysias. More basil. And these are Celebrity. So we got a lot of those. These are pepper. As you remember, we had, I think, 14 varieties, and if we walk, you will see that these are the ones that were planted a week later. So there's not as many ripe on this side, but you can see they're doing really well. Lots of fruit on them. Now this is the ones that were planted a week earlier. There's the parsley again. Now let's take a look at some of this side. This is the side that was planted 1 week earlier. So this just proves that a week in planting can make a huge difference. But look at the fruit on this. It's just everywhere. And that would be a steakhouse type tomato. These are Romas. We've got fruit everywhere on them. They're just covered. Got some beginning to get ripe down at the bottom. These are beefsteak tomatoes, and again, we've got fruit everywhere. And down toward the bottom, we've got fruit getting ripe. And as you can see, I trim the tomatoes. My original intention was to leave only 3 main stems, but we were away on vacation for a couple of weeks and kind of got away from me, as you can see. But these tomatoes are doing quite well. They're kind of up there. They are much taller than I am, and have fruit from the bottom to the tip top. These are the yellow pear tomatoes. As you can see, they're doing very well. These are the San Marzano, and again, I need to cut this one, but you see there's lots of fruit on this one as well. Everywhere you look, there's fruit. We're going to have a good harvest of tomatoes. Again, this is the second San Marzano. This is the yellow Zoytchka. I've already harvested several and I ate them, and they are delicious. I really like the taste of these. And last but not least are the Celebrity. They are doing very well. As you can see, they are fruiting very well too. So we got a lot of those. These are peppers. I've got 3 different types in here. Let's see, we've got sweet banana pepper. We've got poblano peppers. We've got a watermelon coming up in here that was a volunteer. We have the poblanos, and we also have the anchos. Anchos, poblanos, and sweet banana peppers. These, we got 2 cucumbers on this side. They're sweeter yet. I'm really happy with those as always. Of course, we've got the asparagus again this year. It's been doing well. I've harvested quite a lot, and I'm letting some go to fern. These are pickling cucumbers, so they're a different type, but we got 3 on this side, and I think we got a couple on this side over here. Yeah, we got a total of 6. These are potatoes. They're popping up slowly here and there, so I guess they're all going to produce. We'll see. We shall see. This is the other side where the cucumbers are. Now here are those little peppers that we planted. Let's get in here and see if you can see some of the fruit. Okay, there you go. See, we've got peppers all over the place. Now we just harvested yesterday, so there's not as many as there were, but as you can see, we've got lots of peppers. These are the poblanos. These, of course, are the sweet banana. And the ancho peppers are not quite as fast here. They're not producing as much, but there's what one looks like, an ancho. But anyway, as you can see, that watermelon that volunteered has gone nuts. It's covered up the asparagus. And the asparagus is still doing very well too. Okay, now we're going to come to the pickling cucumbers. So we're at the end of the asparagus, and as you can see, we've still got asparagus we harvested, even this late in the year. These are the pickling cucumbers, and as you can see, we've got a few ready to harvest. They're not doing too bad. We've got lots of those. And here's the potatoes again. They are still doing very well. And now we're going to go into the Sweeter Yet cucumber tunnel. And as you can see, it is loaded. We harvested just a couple of days ago on these, but we've got this many to replace the ones that we just harvested. So we've got quite a lot. So this is why I love the Sweeter Yets. They just produce, and they never get bitter. They're always sweet. These are zucchinis. They're getting off to a slow start for some reason. Don't know why, but some are doing well, some are not doing as well. We have several zucchinis. It's a mix of zucchini. This is the okra. This is a Clemson spineless okra. We've got a full 42-foot row of that. And last but certainly not least, on the internal garden, we've got a jewel corn. It comes out in, the kernels have many colors and they look like jewels. And this is Mad Hatter peppers right here. And this will be more peppers here when I get them planted. I have not planted this row yet, but it's the last row. But that's the inside garden. Okay, now this is the zucchini row that was doing so poorly. Now I'm not sure what kind of zucchini this is because we got a mix. Maybe some of you could tell me, but here's what the fruit looks like as it's beginning. But this is one of those that was not doing too well, that was off to a slow start. And it goes from there all the way down. There's the flowers. That may help identify it. Goes back to the center of the plant. Then it keeps going. And keeps going. And keeps going. And here's the other end of it. But amongst here we've got zucchini. As you can see, we've got a few starting to come up. Well, actually, we've harvested already. But you can still see there's quite a lot here. Here's a zucchini. It's just beginning. Wait, can you see it? Let's see. There it is. There's a couple of three down there. There's one that's ready to harvest, I think. Here's that monster long thing, whatever it may be. We've got straight neck yellow squash here. They're doing pretty well, as you can see. You have to look down in there. They're producing pretty well. Lots of flowers. More zucchini here. It's doing pretty good as well. You can kind of see the zucchini way down in there. That probably needs to be picked. Now the okra. The okra's doing well. As you can see, it's coming right up here. There's okra and blooms almost on every single one. There's one I missed the other day. Boy, that one's going to have to be put into the compost bin. It's too large. I'm going to have to harvest today. So, oh, and I added a few tomatoes here. They're very late plants, and they're going to be the late season tomatoes. I think I've got 8 or 9 planted in this little row here. And still, looks like I got to add some soil amendment to this end. I can tell that this end is not happy. This is that gem or jewel corn, whatever it's called. It's not producing big ears, but we will see how they do when they fill out. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Here's those Mad Hatter peppers. I'm anxious to see what they're going to do. Again, they were planted a little later, so they're a little slower. There's a marigold, which I put sporadically through the garden. And peppers all the way down to here. All right, that finishes the inside garden. Okay, so out here we've got watermelon, and we had some cantaloupe and honeydews, but evidently cutworms love them. So I lost every one of them because of the cutworms. And down here we've got Silver King corn. Part of it is Silver King, and part of it is peaches and cream. So we've got a good stand of corn down here. And that pretty much completes the garden tour for now. Okay, here we are in the back garden. These are those little tiny watermelon plants that you saw before. We've got tons of little bitty ones, but we got a few that are coming along and getting a little size on them. Like this little boy here hiding. As you can see, we've got bees like crazy in here. So there's no honeybee problem here. There's another reasonably good sized melon. There's 3 or 4 under these bushes here, but they're not large enough to see yet. Here's another one right here that's got some size on it. So, anyway, as you can see, they're getting pretty good size. These are Charleston Grays, and I've never seen watermelon climb before, but these watermelons seem to be climbing my netting, as you can see. Okay, last but not least, this is the corn. We had a couple of storms while I was away, and I don't know if this corn's going to do much or not. We're going to have to just see. First of all, I planted it later than I should have. That was my fault for not getting it in the ground sooner. But the storm knocked a lot of it over. I've got it stood back up, but it's still not, it never recovered, I don't think. So anyway, we'll have to wait and see how the corn does, but it's got some time to go, and we got some rain coming that will help it fill out a lot. So